Hello, this is Dr. Hassan Abdullah with the course Web Applications Programming. And the topic which we are discussing is search engine optimization. And the topic number is 13 within the topics of this course. So, what is search engine optimization? Basically, it is what you need to do with your landing page or your web page, which represents your web application, so that it comes at the top of the ranking list. Or if not top, among the first pages, you have to have that page become visible among hundreds and millions of pages. And of course you are doing it without spending money, as in advertisement money. So this involves certain coding parts also. HTML can be used to enhance SEO, and PHP can also be used to enhance SEO. SEO means search engine optimization. So that's what we'll be covering in a series of three videos, which are 13A, 13B, and 13C. So over here we start with 13A, and like other videos, this is also using the supplemental website easymcq.com/goget. Personalized learning management system, and it has many features, and some of those features are listed on the screen in front of you, along with the URL where the videos are available, so that you know about those features. In a nutshell, it has strong search capability, basic search and advanced search, which is not there in other popular learning management systems, which I would not like to take their name. So you can perform flexible search, and you can perform search by fixing the order of the keywords also. For example, data structure unordered versus data structure ordered. So the number of results vary. And of course, the results are also highlighted. And then is the visual disability support. If the user has some visual disability, then the user can set the font size, color, line spacing, and so on, so as to make that person comfortable with the desired environment. So that is not there in many popular learning management systems. And then there is the hierarchy. So the all the content is presented in a very organized manner, so as to facilitate your learning. First is the statement. You click on the statement, you see the bullets about that statement, and then you look at the detailed answer about those bullets are explained. And then there could be a diagram if needed, and there are references also. And then of course you can also test yourself. There are practice exams, practice quizzes, which are graded, which tells you the correct answer, and which also explain the solution to you. And you can take those exams multiple times, and it is all recorded. The average is presented, the analysis is done for you. And then the content is designed in such a manner that it works with different types of devices, a tablet or a laptop or a PC or a mobile phone, and even if the mobile phone is rotated. And then of course you can track your progress also, that what you have done, what you have not done, so that you know what needs to be done. And of course that helps in assimilation of knowledge. Now the approach, the learning approach adopted in this course and all the courses which are using this learning management system is the question and answer based approach. So the concepts are presented in the form of a question, and then you are challenged to answer that question. So what is the advantage is it's a proactive approach. So it challenges you, unlike just a passive approach of presenting something and then going into some description and so on. Number one is that advantage. Number two is engaging. It is kind of an interactive approach. The system asks you a question, and you come up with the answer, and you look at the explanation, and then you in the process you learn also. And of course in an adaptability is there. And because we are directly looking at the real world problems, and those real world problems are presented in the form of questions. And of course it's the critical thinking also. It's not a passive approach. Critical thinking, and we are much better than machines in thinking. So therefore this approach is adopted of thinking, right? Challenging you to think. And of course then there's the advantages of traditional approach also, when facts have to be presented. So this approach which we have adopted here is the best of both worlds. So this is the list of topics in this course, Web Applications Programming. And as you can see, that topic number 13 is search engine optimization. Now within that topic number 13, there are 10 question and answers. And each of these questions and answer is itself a concept. So that is divided into three lectures, 13A, which is the first three Q&A. And then we have 13B, which is the next three Q&A. And then is 13C, which is the last four Q&A. So I'll be going into details of all of these Q&As, and we'll do that at the supplemental website. And we now move on to the supplemental website. So we start with the Q&A for the topic 13A. And the first concept is what is search engine optimization? Okay. So this is not how search engine optimization works. but what it really is, and why it is important for web applications. So these are the bullets or the bullets of the topics which are discussed, and these are the sub uh, the titles: improves visibility, increases organic traffic, and so on. And of course, there's a diagram, and these are the references if you're interested in more study. So we go back, and I will cover these bullets, and then of course details are available. So improves visibility. Now try to understand, which I believe you all already know, that we are looking at not hundreds or not thousands, but we are looking at millions and millions of web pages, right? And you would like your web page of your wonderful application to be among the top, right? So that is why search engine optimization is required, so that your the link for your web application comes in the preferably in the first page, right? And of course, so that is basically search engine optimization. How to make your web page bring at the top position, and why it is important for web applications. These are the reasons given here. Improves visibility. Now, so when you do search engine optimization, SEO, there are companies, there are organizations which do that. So what's going to happen that when it is done properly, then your web page or your application, the web page corresponding to your application, its visibility increases. So it appears prominently. So what we are looking at right now, we are looking at this. So it appears prominently in the search engine results. Now that prominent appearance could be the top three, or it could be the first page, it could be the second page. Okay. So what is the outcome? The outcome is that when it comes to the top positions, the chances of that page being discovered by the users obviously increases. So if your web page is visible, right, then better visibility means more clicks. Okay. And when there are more clicks, then people are aware of your brand, so the brand awareness increases. And when your web page comes at the top positions, then there are more opportunities, there are more chances to attract potential customers, right? And that is being done through the organic traffic. Organic is the natural or the generic traffic without making use of paid advertising. So SEO promotes organic traffic. Basically, that's the second point also, increases organic traffic. So how organic traffic is increased? By there are number of things, right? For example, uh, targeting the relevant keywords. So the keywords which the users are using, right, to search for what you are offering. Okay. So if you target those keywords and those keywords are there in your page, right, so the chances of your the visibility increases, right? And not only the keywords, but you need to optimize the content also. Okay. The content should be such a way that not only it's the keywords, but based on the content, people maybe refer to your work. And of course, this search engine optimization, which is not paid, okay, it has to be high quality. And since it's high quality, then of course it should be able to attract unpaid traffic to your website. That I've experienced a lot. You may have also experienced. Okay. So this of course has to be consistent, because this it's not like that you have paid something and when that amount goes, it's consumed, the traffic falls down. That's the approach over here, is that this organic traffic is more sustainable. Okay. And it is cost effective as compared to the paid channels, right? Because it is based upon the content, it's based upon the keywords, so it has a long term value, right? Why it is a long term value? Because it is not based upon that payment amount, and there are hundreds and thousands of people, users as a matter of fact, who are actually searching for the related information, the related products, and the related services. So they are searching. So by default, okay, by default, to a certain extent, your page, whatever you put on the net, gets indexed. So when it gets indexed, which I'll briefly discuss in the diagram below, when it gets indexed, right? So then it gets picked. Okay, and it will get picked if it's indexed and it contains the relevant content and the relevant keywords. All right, so let's move on. So why what is why SEO is important? It also enhances the user experience. So how the user experience is enhanced? Say for example, you go to an ATM and it takes a while to get the money withdrawn. So probably the next time you would not go there. You'll go to some other ATM. Okay, because nobody would like to stand or park the car or whatever to get the money. So one part of SEO is optimizing the site speed. Okay, which is a complete Q&A also with the diagram, right? So if you have, of course, you need to analyze your there are tools which analyze your web page or your web application. uh, Over here, when I say web page, it means the landing page of your web application, right? So with the right tools, you can, as a matter of fact, determine the loading speed, and then you can optimize the site speed, right? And then is the mobile responsiveness. Okay, it has to adjust the buttons, it has to adjust the size of the content, and it has to be able to adjust the width and the height and so on to be responsive to mobile phones. Okay, and the navigation has to be intuitive, and it is understandable. So what is the end result? The end result is the enhancement of the user experience. Okay, so when the user experience is enhanced, it becomes better. So the search engines basically rank the user friendly websites higher. Okay, so the search engines are not dumb, they are smart. So basically what happens is that if you improve the usability, okay, so as a kind of a byproduct, or as a fringe benefit, the search engine, okay, give you high rankings. And when your web landing page gets high rankings, okay, and of course people, the user are satisfied, and it becomes more engaging. So this is the benefit uh, of taking care of all those things, right? Then is builds credibility and trust. So when the users are searching for something, for a product or a service or data or whatever, right? And your website appears on the first page, your website appears in the top five, okay? Then it adds credibility, legitimacy to your web page, to your application, okay? And generally, these are perceived as more trustworthy. The websites or the web pages which appear at the top, they are considered most trustworthy. And why they appear at the top? Because of SEO strategies. And what were those strategies? Like quality content. Content is everything, of course. Then there are the backlinks also, that from where the traffic is coming to you, who is referring to your, and of course secure connections, HTTPS. So basically all of them contribute to the authority. Okay, authority of that web page, authority of that person, who basically the page may be about that person. And then this encourages the users to rely on the information, to have trust on the information or the transactions, because it appears at the top, right? And it appeared at the top automatically in the sense that by virtue of search engine optimization. All right, so next is the supports the marketing goals. So how does SEO supports the marketing goals? Why? Because when you have done SEO, SEO is something, of course, which is done by professionals, or there are technical details to it. It's a technical thing. So it complements the marketing strategies at a broader level. Okay, and by virtue of that complementing, right? People have trust when your web page comes to the top, and it attracts the relevant audience, and of course that increases the, or it improves the online presence of your business, right? So when it is improved, it supports the marketing goals, obviously. So whether you are promoting a product, okay, or you would like to increase the brand recognition, or you are interested in generating leads, if you have done proper search engine optimization, okay, then of course that marketing content reaches the right people and at the right time. and without spending a lot, because remember, SEO is not advertisement. SEO is improving your web page. So this is so what SEO is doing. SEO is not about JavaScript. SEO is not about PHP. SEO is about the content. SEO about the keywords. SEO is about the engaging content and so on. So that is why I've included the topic of SEO in the overall ecosystem or web applications programming, that you should be able to make your landing page of your application SEO optimized, right? Because you may have a wonderful application, but if people don't know about it, if people don't come there, then it is very difficult to make the most out of it. Okay, so SEO, the benefit and importance of SEO is ROI, which is the long term ROI, means return on investment. So, unlike like paid campaigns, it's not that I'm saying that you should not do paid campaigns. That's not the case. There are organizations, right? I would not like to name any organization which spend like 68% of the budget on marketing, okay, which is a very, very high number. So, SEO is not it's not paid campaign, because the paid campaigns stop producing results when the budget runs out, right? And but SEO continues to generate traffic, not only generate traffic but also generate leads over time, but it requires patience, okay, and it requires upfront investment also to do all of that SEO stuff, because you are not being you as a learner of this course, by virtue of taking this course and studying this topic, may be able to and should be able to get a certain level of SEO, but it requires some investment of time and patience. And of course, SEO then has a high return, okay, and it builds high return because it builds a strong foundation for your sustained online growth. All right, so let's look at the diagram at the end here, okay. So how do search engines work? So I'm not going to explain the working of the search engine. What is of interest is that based upon this is the index, okay. So this is the index, and this index is based upon the contents and the keywords and everything which is there in your web page, which is crawled by the spiders or the bots. That's here, okay. And the ranking algorithm. This is very complex. How do the ranking algorithms work? So this is the index, and these are the ranking algorithms. So these ranking algorithms basically rank the data which has been crawled, right? And that basically contributes to our objectives or our targets. So if you are interested, here are more details. So what are the key components of on page? Okay, and so we have two things over here. We have on page and we have off page here. So on page engine optimization and off page search engine optimization. So let's look at the on page search engine optimization. So we have so we have tags here, right? We have meta descriptions, the header tags for the text, the structure of the URL, and how keywords are used, and image optimization, because we would not like the image to be very large. It takes a lot of time, and how that image is going to be tagged, and mobile responsiveness, which we discussed and talked about in the previous Q&A, and page load speed, which is very important, so we discussed this in the in question number one, and then we are discussing it in question number two, and we will also discuss, there's a complete Q&A just about the speed also. So let's look at these uh, bullets one by one. So let's look at the title tags. So what are title tags? So when the search engine starts, remember the diagram which I showed you, right? So when the search engine starts, or the spider starts uh, visiting your page, so the first thing which those search engines and the users view are the title tags, right? What is inside the title tag, right? And they have a strong influence on the click through rate. So what is the click through rate? The click through rate means that how many, so when a search when a user performed a search, then how many results were shown, right? and among those results, how many were clicked. So that's the click through rate. So of course that influences the click through rates, and it influences the ranking also, because if your page is getting clicked, then the search engine are aware of it, and yeah, the ranking of your page will increase. And of course that will help to accurately summarize the page content. So if you have carefully developed a title, and which go in the title tags, and it contains the target keywords, then of course this is going to be significantly boost the visibility of your search results. So this is a job which is probably more suited for a marketing person, all right, and somebody who has good writing skills. So this is in addition to CSS or JavaScript or SQL that I believe you should have understood by now. So this is not coding. But this is very important also. Okay. So let's move on to the meta descriptions now. So what are meta descriptions? Meta descriptions are, okay. Meta descriptions basically they provide a concise summary of a web page. Okay. And of course that is going to help in the search results. Now, this does not directly contributes to the ranking of the web page, because remember that we in the picture which I showed you in the previous Q&A, there was the ranking algorithms. So meta descriptions do not directly contribute to the ranking, okay, and but they have to be compelling, okay, and they must have the keywords, right, which are rich in the objective or the product or the service which you are providing, okay, because then it will improve the click through rate. Why? Because then it will encourage the users to visit your site, okay, because they have to click to visit your site. I believe you understand this. So meta description should be there. And then of course move on to the header tags. What are header tags? They basically structure your content, which is very important, and which is of course there has to be a hierarchy. So which is, of course, what you're seeing right now on your screen, that is again that is much more than asymmetrical header tags, but the hierarchy is there. So you have that Q&A question, and then you have the answer, and then you have the bullets, and then you have the view description. So this is all hierarchy. This is more than the header tags. Why it is important? Because it increases the readability, and not only it increases the readability, but it contributes towards search engine optimization. Why? Because of these tags H1, H2, and H3. When you use those tags, then the search engine, the code behind the search engine, uses these tags to understand the context and how the content is organized, right? So this helps the search engine, right, to improve the understanding, okay, to get to know the relevance, right, and how the users are going to experience it. So basically that results into, or that contributes to organic traffic. That's the benefit. All right. So the structure of the URL. The URL structure should be clean, right? It should be clean. So that is a challenge. And it should be keyword rich. So it should contain those keywords which are relevant, right? And because improves not only the navigation by the user, but it helps the search engine to index it properly. So if the URLs are descriptive, okay, and human understandable, so basically that gives a clear idea to the users, and not only to the users. Now it also gives a clear idea to the search bots or the spiders, because spiders have gotten a lot very much intelligent over the decades, right? And they get a clear idea about the content of the page. So what is the end result? The end result is that it enhances the visibility, which is probably the first subtopic we just discussed. That enhances the visibility and the usability of the website, of the web page, right? So the ranking becomes better. That is the visibility and then the usability. Okay, keyword optimization. So of course, if you are properly selected the keywords and you strategically use the keywords, okay, and your keywords ensure that your content matches. Try to understand your keyword should ensure that the content matches with what the users are searching for. So you should be knowing that what keywords the users are using, right, to get to what you're offering. So those keywords should be there in the titles, those keywords should be there in the headers, those keywords should be there in the body text, okay, and because that will increase your chances of ranking higher in the search engine results. So when you rank higher in the search engine results, then of course uh, your ranking increases. Then is the internal linking. Internal linking means that uh, just hold on for a sec. Internal linking means that how to navigate within your website, right? Right, and that not only guides the users to take them to the related content, but it also improves the navigation. And this helps the search engines or the bots or the spiders in crawling your site more efficiently, and it enhances the overall SEO performance. So in what I have experienced that for navigation within your web portal, okay, or your web application, hyperlinks are better than buttons, because I know that the bots, they are used to traversing the hyperlinks. So I will replace all the buttons with hyperlinks, because then the traffic within your website increases. And then is the content quality and relevance. Cannot say less about it. Content is the king. Okay, content should be relevant and should demonstrate your expertise, and it should meet the expectations of the users. And then before we move on to the next topic, image should be optimized. There should be image names, image sizes, image types, and should increase the loading speed and make the page accessible. And of course, those images are used in search results by SEO, and that increases the relevance of the content also. And those images, everything matter a lot. So we can have complete lecture on it also. But of course, that is beyond the scope of this course. And then is the mobile responsiveness. Uh, there are probably more mobile users looking for stuff than people with a laptop or a tablet, and mobiles have their own issues. So Google has mobile first indexing. Google prioritizes mobile friendly sites. Okay. So if your design is responsive and it ensures your website looks and feels and functions well on all devices, as a result, the user experience is enhanced, then your organic ranking will improve. Okay. And last but not the least, because we will be talking more about the page load speed, is the is of course is the page load speed. Okay. And if their pages load faster, then then of course better, and that results in a lower bounce rate people is leaving, and ranking improves, and optimize the images so that it runs fast and so on. So there is a nice diagram at the end which kind of explains all of this. So please read all of this material, and these are some of the factors, okay, which contributes towards increasing your the this question answering this question which we have just discussed. So then is the question number 3. So what is off-page search engine optimization, and how does it differs from the on-page search engine optimization? So backlinks, first of all, is the backlinks. Okay. So backlinks, what are backlinks? Because basically they add trust and authority to the search engines, right? And if they're high quality, then it improves a site's ranking. So in on page SEO, we were optimizing the content and the structure, but the backlinks rely on external validation from other websites. Okay. Then is the social media engagement. So if you share your content on social platforms, that drives the visibility, that increases visibility, drives the traffic. It of course it boosts the SEO, but that is indirect. So that influences the popularity and the reach. This is not on-page SEO, okay? And of course, it does not uses the metadata like was done in on-page. And then is the brand mentions and citations. So here basically citations in business directories also reinforce the local search engine optimization. Of course, these are external indicators and which is different from the on-page. But of course, that increases uh, the c- the the marketing effort and everything. So influencer outreach and content sharing. So you should thinking about collaborating with influencers. Why? Because that amplifies it and it increases the reach and it encourages backlinks from trusted sources. So when you are sharing the content, that builds confidence, that builds authority. Okay, and of course that is beyond the site. Okay, and that is not on page SEO because this is not in your control. Okay, so if your product is good, people will share it, people will talk about it, people will, and that will generate traffic. So what you can do is you can do guest blogging also, and because you can write for reputable external sites, that would help build backlinks. And this is not an internal, but this is an external content marketing strategy. Of course, this is going to complement your on-page content, okay? But this is targeting not the visitors to your website, but it is targeting audiences beyond your website. So there's a big difference. Then are the online reviews and reputation management. So those online reviews are going to be done by other people, but that is going to enhance trust, okay? And that is an external sign of credibility. This is not on-page SEO, which is internal. Then is the forum and community participation. So you should be engaging in the niche forums, okay, which are related to what you offer, and because that is going to ultimately boost the visibility, encourage generic traffic through some thoughtful interactions. So that is off page SEO because it influences the perception, okay, and the presence beyond your actual website. And finally is the domain authority and trustworthiness, because we're going to stop here for this. So higher domain authority built through backlinks and positive signals improve the overall SEO performance. And this is externally measured and this is earned, right? This is different from on page efforts. So we see that off page SEO is external and on page SEO is internal. And there is a table which compares all of this. And I would suggest that you read all of this and you also look at that comparative table also, right? So this is all I have for 13A.